Greetings, everyone. We're here for this instructional session. Our objective today is to put into action the deployment of a Golang web application on AWS AppRunner. AWS AppRunner, a completely managed application service, empowers you to create, deploy, and operate web applications and API services even if you have no prior background in managing infrastructure or containers. To begin, our initial step involves the creation of a new database. In this instance, we'll be utilizing PostgreSDB. For the purposes of this demonstration, we will configure the database to be publicly accessible. However, it is crucial to note that in a production environment, the database should ideally operate within a private network with robust security measures in place. Accessing it from external sources may result in SSL errors when connecting to Postgres. To address this, I will establish a database parameter group and adjust the force SSL variable to a value of 0. We can start by initiating the setup of a brand new database instance. Please proceed as I guide you through the process. For the network configuration, select the default VPC and utilize the default security group. Ensure that public access is set to yes. The initialization of the new database will require a few minutes. In the meantime, let's delve into the codebase. I'll be deploying an e-commerce application constructed using the Golang Echo framework. We'll be conducting operations typical to an e-commerce platform, such as placing orders and adding products. I've already generated a Docker image and stored it in AWS Elastic Container Registry. I suggest examining the Docker file for a more comprehensive understanding. If you're uncertain about the process of crafting a Docker image and uploading it to the ECR registry, I'll direct you to the official documentation, which I will specify in the description. Our database is operational and prepared. Next, let's transition to AppRunner, where we will configure our inaugural service. You have two options for repository connection. You can either link it to your GitHub or Bitbucket accounts, or you can employ a Docker image from Amazon ECR, which can be either public or private. The deployment trigger will function automatically. Each time a new image is pushed, it initiates a new build process. To work with ECR effectively, we must establish a fresh service role. Subsequently, I will specify the service name and furnish you with a set of environment variables. For enhanced security in managing these environment variables, you can opt for AWS Secrets Manager. I neglected to mention a crucial aspect regarding the security group for the database. We are currently using the default security group. Please make sure to permit inbound access from external networks to facilitate interaction with the database. It's important to note that this configuration is not recommended for a production environment. Returning to our configuration, it's important to maintain the default settings without any modifications. However, If you intend to establish a connection to an AWS service, such as DynamoDB, you will need to furnish an IAM role. In terms of networking, ensure that all configurations are set to public. Additionally, if you wish to implement monitoring for your application, you have the option to activate X-ray. Furthermore, you can also enable the Web Application Firewall, WAF, according to your preferences. Kindly be patient, as the service will require some time to commence. I'll accelerate the video playback. As you can observe, the deployment has encountered an issue due to a problem in our service. I overlooked applying the force SSL parameter group. I will rectify this by making the necessary adjustments and restarting the database. The database has been successfully rebooted. Now, let's proceed to rebuild our service. Great news! Our application's health checks are now passing. The service will be up and accessible very shortly. The application is currently operational. Allow me to promptly verify the endpoint. Indeed, it is functioning flawlessly, and we are successfully receiving the API response. As mentioned earlier, we have constructed an e-commerce application. I'll now be testing the endpoints, and you're welcome to follow along. Rest assured, the Postman collection is already accessible within the Codebase repository. I will initiate the creation of a new product and category, and subsequently, add them to the shopping cart before proceeding to place an order. Fantastic! We've successfully retrieved the order from the listing APIs, concluding our comprehensive application walkthrough. I trust you found this video enjoyable, and I extend my gratitude for tuning in.